Hello everyone, this is Joseph. Today I'm going to share with you my suggested solution for Math PSLE 2019 Paper 2, question number 1 to question number 5. This is the exam smart strategy that I'm using. It's important to read every question carefully, whether is it MCQ, short answered question, or long answered question. We have to read every question carefully and annotate. Annotate means we have to pick up keywords through underlining, circling, arrowing. From the keywords that have been picked up, we should be able to identify the concepts that we are using. Once we know the identified concepts and heuristics, we can solve the problem, each question, very easily. And don't forget to evaluate. Evaluate means we need to confirm that our solutions, our answers are correct. When they are correct means they are logical, they are reasonable. So evaluation can be done using a different concept, a different heuristics. By using a different way, a different concept, a different heuristics, we can solve the same problem and to arrive at the same answer. Okay, I'm going to move on to solving the 5 questions. Now this is question number 1. Question number 1 is asking us to write down the first common multiple of 4 and 10. It is a P4 concept on common multiples. It's actually a very simple number 1. Okay, right. So the multiples of 4 means it's 4 times table. So I'm going to write down now. So 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, and so on. Okay, right. I will stop at 24 for the time being. Now I'm going to move on to multiples of 10. 10, 20, 30, 40. Now, multiples of 10 means it's a 10 times table. We want to see which one is the first common. It must be the same. So we have to compare the two listings. Simply saying, we know this 20 and this 20 is the very first common multiple. So the answer for part A is 20. So 1A is done. Now 1B, we are supposed to write down all, the keyword is all the common factors of 18 and 81. Alright, so when we are in primary 4, our teacher taught us to do this listing. 18 can be obtained using 1 times 18, 2 times 9, 3 times 6. Okay, now then how about 81? 81 can be obtained using 1 times 81 and 3 times 27 and 9 times 9. So what are the common factors? Okay, so I'm going to circle the common factor. 1 is common, 3 is common, 9 is common. So the common factors of 18 and 81 are 1, 3, and 9. So this is the answer for part B. Part B is done. I'm going to move on to question 2. Question 2 is, we are told that we are given 2 right-angled triangles, ACD and BCD. Alright, now they told us to measure, means we are allowed to use a ruler. So we can use a ruler to measure. Alright, now measure what? We are supposed to measure the base and measure the height of what? Of the area of triangle ABD. Very important information, ABD. I'm going to highlight what is ABD. ABD is this A, this B, this D. So what is a triangle? How does it look like? This is a triangle. This is triangle ABD. Now, triangle ABD is the one that I have shaded in blue. Now, to find the area of a triangle, right, we need two important lines, because our formula says area of a triangle is half times base times height. So we need to know what is the base, what is the height. And base and height, they have a special relationship. Base must be perpendicular to height. Perpendicular means the two lines should form a 90-degree angle. All right. Okay, so looking at triangle ABD only, so this is the base. So the base is AB. And what is the height? The height must be perpendicular to AB. So the height is actually BD. So if you use your ruler to measure your worksheet, AB is approximately 9.2 cm. All right, it's about 9.2. So then BD is approximately 3.2 cm. Now applying the formula using our calculator, so area of triangle ABD is half times base times height. So half times 9.2 cm times 3.2 cm, right? If you multiply, okay, we should get a value that we must do rounding. In what way? Because they told us that our answer must be given in the first decimal place, 1 decimal place. So when we do proper rounding, we get 14.7 square cm. So number 2 is done. So number 2 is easily done because it is applying the formula, but there's one condition. You need to use your ruler to measure the base, AB, and the height, BD. Measure carefully, as accurately as possible. All right. Question 3. Question 3 is a speed question. Now, to do a speed question, we have to be very careful on about the units used. All right, let's take a quick look. Mr. Raja started walking from home at 8:50 a.m. So I'm going to present this information using a timeline. So at 8:50 a.m., he left his home, right? And he walked to the market. So imagine the market is here, the other end, right? And the distance from home to market is 900 meters. It's 900 meters away. Now, this distance, all right? And the walking speed is 75 meters per minute. All right? So at what time did he reach the market? So we want to find out what is this timing here, the arrival time. So to find the time, the question mark, we need to use something called duration. Okay, right? So duration is actually the time component, the time taken in the formula for finding the speed. Now, if you are aware, we have learned the speed triangle. Okay, now so the speed triangle, we have three components. Distance is the one up there. Then speed is on the left, time is on the right. So distance, speed, and time is in the speed triangle. Now to find the time, we need to know the distance. So time is equals to distance divided by speed. Now distance is 900 meters. Speed is 75 meters per minute. So using our calculator, 900 divided by 75, we get 12 minutes. 12 minutes. All right. So from 8:50 a.m. and 12 minutes later, okay, I'm going to do a simple timeline. 8:50, 10 minutes. Let me remove this part here. Okay, right? Okay, let me do it a proper job. So 8:50, 10 minutes later, this is 10 minutes. It would be 9 o'clock, 9 a.m. Then another 2 minutes. So the question mark must be 9:02 a.m. So the answer for number 3 is 9:02 a.m. in 12-hour clock. Right, number 3 is done. Question 4. Now, we are given a piece of paper. CT had a piece of paper, a rectangular piece, and the length is 35 cm, the breadth is 24.6 cm. She cut out as many squares as possible from the paper, and one side of the square has to be 5 cm. Okay, I'm going to do a simple sketch of the rectangular piece of paper. So imagine this is a rectangular piece of paper that CT has, and the length is 35 cm, and the breadth is 24.6 cm. He has to cut out as many squares as possible. Each square is about 5 cm. So I'm going to do a simple tiny sketch. Imagine these are all the squares. Now, one particular square, okay, this one, let's say this one, one particular square has sides 5 cm each. Right? So now for this type of question, right, we are not supposed, I stress, we are not supposed to use the big area, meaning the area of the rectangular paper, divide by the area of one square. No, we cannot do this method. All right? So we have to always remember, to do this question, we have to find out how many squares can be cut out along the length. So along the length, okay, along the length, we can cut out how many squares? If the length is 35 cm, we take 35 divide by 5 cm. Okay, when 35 is divided by 5 cm, we realize that we can cut out 7 identical squares along the length. Okay, exactly 7 squares along the length. What about the breadth? So if we take 24.6 cm and we divide it by 5 cm, that means we measure 5 cm, we can actually should have one square, another 5 cm, another square. So when 24.6 is divided by 5, confirm we can't get a whole number because 24.6 is not divisible by 5. So the closest number that we can get is 4 identical squares cut out. Alright, so along the length, we can have 7 squares. Along the breadth, we can have 4 squares. Okay, so if along the length there are 7 squares and along the breadth there are 4 squares, confirm we can get a total of 7 times 4 give you 28. So we can have a 28 identical squares cut out. We have solved part B. Now, I have found part B first. It's okay. Now I'm going to do part A. So sometimes it's okay to do part B first. Okay, what is part A? Part A is actually very simple. I'm going to use part B answer to do part A. To do part A, we want to find out what is the area of the square left, paper left after cutout. Now, area of the rectangle is simply length, okay, times breadth. 35 times 24.6. So 35 times 24.6 gave me 861. Okay. Now then in our part B, we know that we have found 28 squares to be cut out by CT. That means CT could cut out 28 squares. So area of 28 squares will be the 28 multiplied by area of 1 square. So 28 times 5 times 5. Okay. And we get this product, get this answer, minus it from 861. So we take 861 minus the product, minus this away. So if you use a calculator, 861 minus 28 times 5 times 5, we get the answer 161. So part A is 161 square cm. Okay, so I'm going to write down on top. Part A answer is 161 square cm. After subtracting the area of 28 squares from the area of the rectangle. Okay, so meaning number 4 is done. Question 5. Now question 5 is a net question. Okay, right, A is easy. Draw the front view of the solid on the square grid. So we are given a square grid, the dotted line, okay, the dotted paper. Now we want to draw the front view. Now to draw the front view, okay, we just need to indicate what are the faces that we can see if we are standing right in front. We can see this, we can see this, this, and this. In fact, we can see 4 crosses. 4 crosses. Using your ruler and pencil, we can see this. Right? That's it. This is the answer for part A. Very easily done. Now, B is a little bit challenging. Now, Susie painted the whole solid structure, including the base. She took it apart into 5 cubes. That means she split up the structure into 5 identical cubes after painting. Now, what is the total number of faces that are not painted? Not painted. Now, this is difficult. So what I am going to do is, I'm going to split out this structure into this manner. Okay, so I have, these are the 4 that is together, and there's one isolated one here. Right? So I'm going to just separate them. Now, what I am doing is, I'm going to do the reverse process. I want to find out how many faces are painted. How many faces are painted? Okay, now this particular square up here, this one, all right, if you count carefully, all right, there are 4 painted faces. Yeah, so I'm right down here. I'm going to count the painted faces, the total painted faces. Okay, then this one over here, the one on the right, has also 4 painted faces. Okay, now the one that is right below it has also 4 painted faces. Okay, now this one over here has only 3 painted faces. Now this one has 5 painted faces. Okay, now what is the total number of painted faces? The total number of painted faces, right, is actually 20. 20 painted faces. Now, there are 5 cubes here. 5 cubes. And we all know that 1 cube has 6 faces. So 5 cubes times 6 faces, we have altogether 30 faces. Alright? There are total 30 faces, and 20 faces are painted. So how many faces not painted? Simple. the faces which are not painted must be 30 minus 20, that gives you 10. So the faces which are not painted, there should be 10 of them. Okay, we have completed number 5. Now, please feel free to play back my video, right, to have a better understanding on how I go about solving question 1 to 5. Now, in my coming videos, I'll be sharing with you the remaining questions in paper 2. If you like my today's sharing on PSLE 2019 paper 2, give me a thumbs up. Share with friends who are keen to know as they revise for prelim exam and of course PSLE. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel so that you can get to receive the work solutions, my videos for all the other questions, the remaining questions. Okay? Alright, thank you for viewing my video. Thank you for supporting my channel. Do continue to subscribe. Okay? Now don't forget to view my videos again and again. Alright, and I have other videos also, right, for 2020, 2021. Okay, till then, do continue to take care of yourself, stay safe, and this is Joseph signing off. Goodbye.